All right, all right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It feels so good to be back. Well, it's been 4 days since I last casted. I was down sick for a while after Thursday, but I'm healthy again. I'm thrilled to jump right back into the action here at the Revival Cup 25. I've missed this, the desk, the energy, and most of all, this didn't shut down. Qualifier 1 wrapped up last night, and may I say what? Entire bracket was stacked from the get-go. EXO, X3 Valorant, Ashraf Ahmed, Ascendant, all big names, all fighting for that very first playoff slot. Every series ended 2-0, but the games were far from easy. There were comebacks, clutches, heartbreaks, and it felt like the perfect way to remind everyone why this is called the Revival Cup. It's a celebration of the players, the fans, and the passion that built this scene in the first place. After all that excitement, X3 Valorant, also known as Zyphos, came out on top. They beat Ashraf Ahmed's team in the grand final to become the first qualifier champions and secure the first playoff spot in this tournament. The MVP, let's not forget about him. Let's talk about him for a second. Atik Rumi, in game, his name is insane. And he was not far from it. He dropped 113 kills, had a 1.57 KD, and even pulled off 3 clutches along with 3 1v2 clutches. A phenomenal performance that carried X3 all the way through the qualifier. So, congratulations to X3 Valorant, our first qualifier champions. But the battle is far from over. We've got 3 more playoff spots left to claim, and that story begins tonight. Welcome to Qualifier 2, and tonight the stage will be set. Our first scheduled game, Team AFK versus GCM, ended in a walkover in favor of GCM for all those who are waiting for that game. So this right here, tonight's series, marks the official live start of Qualifier 2. And the matchup we've all been waiting for as of this moment, full focus, fast lose. I mean, that's a mouthful and a half to say. Taking on the Revenants. This is where we separate the contenders from the challengers, and one of these two teams is going to take their first big step towards joining X3 Valorant in the playoff brackets. Let's talk lineup, shall we now? Full focus, fast lose has Jiren, Young Mad, Super Killer, Roach, and Maya, with Witty, Nothing, and Safer as their substitutes. Looking at this team comp at the moment from past experiences, this team thrives on aggression. They love their tempo, fast executes, quick control, and more or less a lot of creative mid-round decision making. So we're gonna have a lot of maps with mid control being a key play here if they are going to be sticking to the way they've been playing all this time. They're the kind of team that wins rounds before you even realize what hit you. So keep your eyes on Super Killer and Roach. Their entry synergy has been lethal in scrims prior to this. On the other side, we have Revenants. Saul Goodman, Punya, Bjorn, Death, and Vota. They are a team that plays smarter than they play faster. Very slow. You'll see them take control inch by inch, gathering into baiting utility, striking at the perfect moment. Saul Goodman and Punya hold down the structure while Bjorn and Death act as the team's heavy hitters. Vota often plays the closer role, patient, methodical, and capable of clutching rounds when everything's falling apart. And that's how you know they are one team to be dealt with. The matchup is going to be momentum versus method. Whoever dictates the pace wins. So here's what's at stake. Only 4 playoff spots exist in total. X3 Valorant already took the first, and tonight, full focus, fast lose, and the Revenants begin their climb for the next one. The story of Qualifier 2, ladies and gentlemen, begins here, and it begins right now. Before we get into the action, a massive shout out to the sponsors who made this all possible. Noob Alliance, our official clothing partner. They dropped the official Revival Cup polo, and here's the best part, it's now available, it's available for a special price of just rupees 3,250, down from rupees 4,250, using the promo code revival on nooballiance.lk/shop. Grab yours today. It's slick, it's clean, and it supports the people helping growing this scene. Next, IPLAY, our strategic partner, powering registration, hosting, and tournament operations behind the scenes. And of course, the man making it all happen, Dennis, our organizer, our producer, our streamer, our everybody in this tournament. So please leave a like, follow him, subscribe, and do everything possible to support him, bringing full live coverage every single night of the Revival Cup 25. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The rise of Qualifier 2 and a battle between two hungry teams, full focus, fast lose, versus the Revenants. I think the veto is already happening at the moment, so we will see control chaos or perfect patience. There you go, Heaven with mid control bind. Surprisingly, no Pearl pick. Is it happening? Is it going to be selected? We are still yet to be aware of. We saw a bind game, I think, a few days prior, and it was a very one-sided bind game, if I'm not mistaken, where Chunga Army was absolutely decimated against. I'm not too sure who the team was, but the bind game in and of itself was overwhelming because they knew how to control the aggressiveness coming forward into playing bind. Heaven, yet to see a Heaven game, and I think it's a very formidable approach. Two very homely games, so very safe picks when it comes to playing Heaven and bind. You would expect every team to know what they're doing moving forward in these two maps. Bind being a very aggressively methodical map, you'd want to be aggressive. You don't want to hold back. You want to just push in, lay it out, plant spike, and then hold as an attacker. As a defender, it is said to be a very defender-sided map, as it's a very small map for defenders to be easily able to rotate back and hold side, or even put pressure for the attackers. That being said, a lot of the times it has always, in our experience, the attackers are the ones that have dominated. But on the other hand, Heaven is unique. In that sense, it has 3 spike sites, A, B, and C, instead of the usual 2. Because of that extra site, defenders are often more stretched. They must cover more ground, more rotation, and a lot of sources say it leans slightly attacker favored in less coordinated play than what we discussed in contrast to bind. You have because of these many features like A long, A short, long, C long, garage, mid, links, all of these features, utility information gathering and rotation speed are very heavily emphasized in these maps. Because of this, raw aim is still important, but teams that read the rotations and manipulate the 3-side structure almost always tend to win. A lot of emphasis coming into the veto here because they are taking a testament of a time to be able to get the right map in order. I mean, it does make sense. Maps make up the play. You can't, certain maps decide whether or not a team is going to win. And Heaven, bind, in my opinion, is a very safe pick for both teams. I think they're both very satisfied with going into playing in a game with bind and Heaven. Let's talk about key strategies actually in Heaven. Default for attacks, for the attacking side, given 3 sides, attackers often spread early, waste utilities, or even to gain info. They choose the side based on the defender's reaction, in Heaven especially. So if you were to be the attacker attacking A side, you A long and A short, a split entry, smokes for Heaven in tower. A lobby is the typical default plant spike, so that's what you'd usually do. But what would it happen when it comes to lurking and fakes? With 3 sides, attackers frequently set up lurks. 1 or 2 players holding offside to catch rotations or draw, maybe get some utilities off of the defender side. Post plant positioning is also a possibility. It's also very key. It's a big key strat in when it comes to terms of Heaven. After planting, you wanna be holding crossfires towards likely rotation lanes. Maybe garage, mid, links, and denying retakes is a very crucial and depending and it decides the round, in turn deciding the game. As a defender, you would want to more or less Because there's so much ground to cover, defense often includes strong anchors like sentinels on one or two sides with the other players floating, or maybe floating and rotating. Yeah. Mid link control is also absolutely important. So holding mid garage links can give you faster rotations and deny attackers easy access to side switches, which will in turn make, oh look, have a look at that now. Split has been banned, which means we are now going to get our final map of the series, which will then move on to agent select. This is getting fascinating. Abyss, Karod, pretty obvious picks when it comes to new maps. You don't want them in tournaments, and that's not something that any team wants to have to deal with. Surprisingly, it would be nice to see it in the play. I do not know if it had happened in the last few matches. Again, I was sick. I had been out. A Sunset Decider. Now that is interesting. Sunset is a very unpredictable map. Is that it's another three sides, it's another two side map like Bind, but you have mid control and a lot of unpredictability, as we have already seen with FNC, Fnatic and NRG in the finals of VCT's 25 campaign. Have a look at this now. Heaven, Bind, Sunset. Now you have Revenants who have chosen to defend in the first map, going against the attacking split. Sorry, the attacking full focus fast loose. How am I going to say this? The 4 triple F and 1L? I don't know. It's a lot to say as a caster. Why would you do this to me? We've discussed already Heaven and its ingenuity about how it's going to be proceeding. It is a very attacker-sided map, but it's Valorant. Anything and everything can happen, and you don't want to get caught lacking. So as a defender, lurk, flanks is something you'd want to have under control. So 2 sentinels ideally. So if Revenants is going to be choosing an agent, they would ideally go for a very sentinel base, and not just Revenants, even full focus fast loose. As a sentinel, you are allowed to flank, so attackers would also want to keep flanking. This flank is going to be the name of the game, and if they are able to establish that to the T, then we will have a really good game going ahead into the qualifier 2. I believe the agent select should be happening right about now, as the veto has been completed. Decide a map. Sunset, 2 side map A and B connected by a prominent and contested mid area. If you were to talk about the key features and how it's going to be played, mid, as usual, always a major role. You do not want to get your mid out of your reach. Control of mid always gives access and pressure into both sides, so the attackers typically would want and have their full access in terms of mid control. On the other side, map has no ziplines or teleporters, unlike some other maps, so standard rotations paths matter. So making utility, info, map control very important in Sunset. Entry angles tend to be tighter on some approaches in Sunset, so especially at A side, you know, the elbow link zones, making clearing and utility ways heavier in those angles. Because mid is also very pivotal, the team which gains early control of mid, or at least in the sense of defending, denies the opponent, has a big advantage in a tournament as such as this. The map is often considered to slightly favor defenders. That is not always the case. If they are coordinated due to the many angles and tight side entries, then defenders have a very good advantage of going on to win this series decider Sunset. Right, so typical agents that we would want to look for in Haven. What would you suggest? I think what we have already seen many people play on Haven is Cypher or Killjoy for Sentinels. Of course, they have to be there to anchor, cover flanks. Then you need the controllers. Strong Smokes. Omen is a very good pick in Haven. Maybe, yeah, Brimstones too. Brimstone tends to cover multiple routes, so you would want to pick that going forward into as a controller. Initiators and recon, maybe Sova, breach for clearing sites, giving info, and giving info about the rotations. For duelist, a jet and a raise always could never go wrong in a situation like Haven. For early picks, control of long and aggressive plays from garage or short. Overall, I think the team in composition tends to favor one sentinel, one controller, one initiator, one duelist, and a flex. That's how you'd ideally want to play in this map. Flex maybe a second sentinel or a duelist depending on the strategy. So ideally for me, as my opinion would take 2 sentinels. You can never be safe when it's Heaven, with the flanks, with the rotations, with the amount of space that's given in this map. You would easily just think of going to a second sentinel. But as a duo, as a team, like full focus, fast lose, they're full focus and they just want to go in and absolutely decimate the team. That's a team that might actually go for a second duelist, and then giving them that might proceed with giving them the upper hand. And just like that, I have been made aware that we are going into agent select. Have a look at that. Now we can see, and it ideally might be interesting if it was going to be a very peculiar lineup, but I'm very, very sure that either Cypher or Killjoy, mostly Cypher when it comes to a map like Heaven, or you would have and then you'd have Omen, Sova, a very ambitious Reina if it comes down to it, but that also you can never say. Right, already as I'm saying, Cypher, Omen, Reina, Sova, a surprising Phoenix, and the Jet already coming into the agent select moving forward. A very ambitious veto there. Clove, as we are moving forward into the game, I think they have locked in at the moment. Daffy Duck going with Omen, Maya going with Cypher, Jiren, Jet, 2 duelists, 4 full focus fast lows as they are attacking. Again, an aggressive lineup coming in from the full focus fast loose team, which is going to point towards them being very decisive, but at the same time might have a lot to stand for when it comes to attacking in such a situation. You have 2 sentinels. No, 2 sentinels on the other end as well. The Cypher was removed. Was there a Cypher? I think I might have mistaken. Both going with 2 duelists. Alright, so you're gonna have one flank, one sentinel to control flank and also hold site. KJ being a very good agent to control site, while Cypher might be better when it comes to flanking. That's all my personal experience. I've been absolutely taken away by KJ multiple times, and we don't want to talk about that. But that's something that you would like to see when it comes to this sort of lineup. Alright, I think the game has been selected. The agents have been locked in. And we are moving into the first match of Qualifier 2. Revenants versus Full Focus Fastest. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts because Qualifier 1 gave us a blast. And it's only about time that Qualifier 2 does too. Having the first game a walkover seemed to be pretty upsetting to many of us. I think it was pretty upsetting to me actually. But let's hope that the second one provides us with much more going forward. Heaven being a very difficult map for the defenders. I would love to see what the defenders do here in contrast to the attackers. Zing trying to take a peek off of at seeing if there's anybody moving into main, but nothing coming off of it. Already rotating. Look at this. Site has been pushed in aggressively. Like I said, a very aggressive approach coming in from the attackers. Revenants
Bomb buddy out.
making a very early statement. Clove trying to check out garage.
Spike planted.
Does not notice the flank coming in from Maya. Taking the beam. Punyat peeking into.
Last player standing.
doesn't really matter. Revenants having a very strong worded statement. This side is not defender sided in any sort of way when you play aggressive like Revenants is at the moment. I apologize, like full focus, fast loose. Oh my word, that's a name and a half to say, huh? FFFL going in with a statement and a half to say. Maya, a good flank coming in from Maya, but Jiren with the entry providing them the info enough to push up and take the side for themselves. Revenants have a lot to work on and keep themselves sorted out if they are going to move and make a defender. Now have a look, KJ is only holding C side here at the moment. They need to what a peek from the ambitious effort from tap T. KJ doing much and to get traded off by the Phoenix. Daffy Duck going into flank position. Actually switches up for a better gun. Spectre spray through smoke into ceiling. One by one, Revenants keeps getting taken out without any control to themselves. Last standing member Zing hiding in garage, but will not be able to do anything for his team at this point. Full focus, fast lose, pretty much full focus, fast win the way they are going at this rate. I haven't seen a single one go press the S key. They're just going up into side, gets shorted to the face by the KJ and gets traded off immediately after. So you can't really hold that sort of angle without any support. A very immature mistake coming in from the Revenants in C-side. Now we see them have a very evenly split, and I think the KJ might have given info. I need some help in C-side. And just like that, Reyna is holding 4.
Take flight.
ISK giving info using into side. Daffy Duck spraying garage, taking. Lucky that Punya was not chipped off there. Roach already entering ceiling. And the
Spike down, C.
without any avail, all 3 members were taken out instantaneously. Now it's just Maya and Omen going against the 3 very strongly and
Careful.
individuals with a lot of health. I think they're going to play off of each other. The site is in their midst. What can full focus fast lose do to heal? A very slow approach. Now they have to think hard. Or are they going to have to go back, retreat, and save this round? Just tap, moving up. Garage. Going through to window. No, she decides to back off. Smoke goes off, and now Daffy Duck is in C long. They are
One
trying to
enemy
do something.
remaining.
If Daffy Duck is
30
taken
seconds
out
left.
before Maya gets taken out, this is what you call Valorant timing. Daffy Duck pushes up enough to just enter C side and gets taken out instantly by death. 2-1, and the Revenants have a look at what happened in the last round. 3 entered side, 2 was scattered, and that costed full focus fast lose a potential entry into side. But at the same time, Tap started coming into a big play, confusing the Phoenix and getting himself killed, after which it was just only a matter of time before the round was won by the Revenants. Now we're moving into the 4th round, and the score is 2-1. Nothing exciting happening as of this moment. A cheeky peek coming in from death, but not. Just taking a small chip damage off of Jiren. We know that full focus fast loose is a team that's decisive and knows what they want. Entry already entered Kabi over there, Sova. And having said, they are moving slowly but surely into C side, but now again the same split play coming in from Omen and Cypher on the other end. They seem to want to go through garage and take windows, but Tap is in there waiting for any. No, they're going to mid play this time. Zane sees, gets info, backs up, sends the bot into.
I know exactly.
So comes the nades, getting any sort of chip damage. Is this a play to bait utilities out?
Turret destroyed.
Tap waiting garage. pushes them back with 30 seconds left. Full focus, Fastloose might find
30
themselves in
seconds
a little
left.
bit of a pickle here. They might have to rush, hurry up into B side because that's the only option they might have to go to. Sova pushing back. ISK trying to see if, again, this is not how you'd see full focus play normally, but now look, they're into side, but don't check log. Tap takes one. ISK
Player
takes
standing.
one. Just like that.
10 seconds left.
Having patience, but no,
Spike
DevOps engineer
planted.
on the other side. With just mere moments left, they held side, but a very unnecessary util usage there, costing them the round there for full focus fast loose. But what happened there? They entered side, got traded off by. They entered side, Taps taking one down, but nobody actually able to capitalize on that surprise from Taps. Just getting taken out slowly by my ISK and eventually losing the round after they had it in their grasp with 10 seconds remaining. Full focus just went in, giving with absolutely no hesitation, none. Towards the end, a lot of patience, and then they played like they were, and then they win it. So that's just how they roll, I guess. Now, pushing it aside extremely fast. We've seen them do this before. Roach takes Punya. It's a 4v5 now. Cypher giving in the flank.
Spike planted.
Info that they needed. Tap stuck in. Windows
Oh, coming
cannot
back.
really do much. Trying to peek into side. Take a link. Trying to go through ceiling. Place is perfect. Virginia's already taken two. The side is heavily guarded by full focus Fastest. Revenant seems to see themselves in a bit of a situation. Both Taps stuck in windows along with Death. What a shot
Last
by
player
Death, and Taps
standing.
taking themselves in the game. But full focus Fastest not losing their focus at any point in time, holding the side peculiarly well and taking another round and increasing their lead. The momentum seems to be stuck in full focus's moment at the moment. That was a lot to say. Look, I tried my best. Full focus, fast, loose moments. You just gotta have it and let me be, alright? Revenants struggling, just like I am when speaking about their name. Struggling to capture the moment, trying to take some sort of... They need to play it back, let them attack, allow the retake as a possibility because they seem to be doing well when it comes to retaking. But
over! You're
holding again, just like I said, ISK takes on Punya. Now B-side is in control of full focus, fast loose. They're not gonna stop, they're just gonna keep moving forward. Just pushes in with the ult.
Take flight.
Very crucial info for ISK there. Now the drone going through smoke will capture DevOps engineer, and it does. Just waiting there, Roach. One by one,
One
they
enemy
fall.
remaining.
With just Zing left. Some might argue and say this was just a save round, but it doesn't matter. You'd want to get at least one. You'd want to make a difference. And that certainly is not what Revenants is doing. Full focus. What a shot by Zing! Through the smoke. But as Valorant timing has it, it does not end well for Zing, and full focus fast loose are very heavily focused, but not exactly losing fast. I think that's what their team means. I mean, decipher that. It says full focus or you lose fast. That's what they mean. Well, I think we can all agree this isn't the Zing that we saw from Team AFK. Because he's here. Yeah, this is a different Zing. This is a different Zing. I think... Oh, okay. I think there's two Zings. One in Team AFK and one here. Zing. Just to make things clear, this is a different Zing, and he would want to make his name known. After that approach going to taking out Roach in the way he did. Tap takes out Roach. Now Daffy Duck Tap take it onto himself in order to bring back that... break the momentum that full focus fast loose has with two individuals down at the moment. It's a 5v3. The ideal play for full focus fast loose is to be patient like they did early on. Taps not letting them do that, taking the fight to them as a defender. We saw this type of KJ when Razor played it early on in the series for qualifier once, but Taps is doing it on a whole other approach. Jiren holding Kabe, seeing if there's anyone going to peek from behind box, but I don't think that's going to happen in this scenario. Slowly pushing up Zing with the ball.
Go get him.
Gets the necessary info needed. Taps holding garage. Would swing in a few seconds and sprays through smoke and just gets sprayed on the head. Crucial for
seconds
full
left.
focus there. Look, they are not switching sides. They're very, very sure they're going to go through C, but am I wrong? Looks like Maya's taking the flank through to B. One down, Jiren takes the kill. Off top. Only to get traded off by death. With 10 seconds
10
remaining, what can
seconds
Maya
left.
do? ISK Maya running to A side. The defenders are not in A side, which gives them a very good advantage. They have position angle. No, they just have to hold. They just have to hold in the most perfect angle.
I am the hunter.
The ult given in by ISK would not even provide any sort of damage for the DevOps engineer. The peek through window. Maya decimates DevOps engineer over there. It's a 2v2.
Last player
It's intense.
standing.
They're peeking. They're playing in tandem with each other. This is what Revenants had been looking for. And this is what they'd want. ISK coming in. No whiffs. And Revenants break them and make them.
expect them to work. The symphony of death.
Alright.
You get
The attackers, having said what I have said, moved pretty decisively, patiently, and did everything right in sense of the way they played. But the defenders, having also played the most standard approach of supporting each other, taking on one another and helping get picks. And that's what Death and DevOps Engineer along with Punya did to confuse ISK and win the round for the Revenants. 5-2. This is what they'd like to say. This is what they have been hoping to see. Jiren getting absolutely rushed in courtyard. Panics, hides behind doors, waiting, and gets sprayed through the doors by Tap. Unfortunate, but that's a big win for Revenants here. They love this kind of approach. Well flanked. Daffida coming in. Would blind Punya. Punya has no idea. Moves in.
Spike planted.
Roach takes care of Punya now. They also
No
tap in
more.
windows.
Out of
Maya
charge.
very, very, very careless. They're going. Taking out Emily out inside when there is a Raven open is horrible from Maya there. We'll have to push them away from side. Roach trying to take a peek. Gets taken out. Now it's in 5. It's a 4v2 situation for the Revenants.
Last player
ISK
standing.
would miss. You can't miss your shots in a situation like this. Daffy does go too far and gets punished for it. Revenants overwhelming the attackers, forcing them into an A-side push and then retaking it with absolute beauty. And that's what you'd love to see, and that's what they had to do all this time. This team full focus, fast loose. The attackers, they know how to attack, they know how to keep a hold of side, but they seem to be lacking when it comes to holding side, and that's exactly what the defenders would love and have to utilize in order to defeat full focus, fast loose. I'm going to call them the attackers from now on because it's a bit of a mouthful to be saying
out
their
of
name.
my way.
Alright, moving forward now. They're holding. It's a save round coming in for the attackers. All of them holding sheriffs. Already pushing up sewers and seeing if they can make any play here. DevOps Engineer Death all holding C long. Roach gonna peek any moment now. A flick would have been beautiful to see, but it does it again, but to a different individual. ISK gone down. Roach crosses, jumps, Jiren all over the place.
I know exactly where.
Maya comes in and saves him there for a moment.
Revealing area.
Side is now in control. B side is now in control of the attackers, but the spike is all the way on the spawn. Is this a mistake or is this a strategy to play to default? I would like now to take the approach of pushing in slowly. Death holding all the way from ceiling. Whiffs the shot. And Maya
Spike
survives.
planted.
Die.
DevOps Engineer holding side so beautifully. Carries out the execution from Suez. Roach waits and gets his target. Waiting with a sheriff is a very audacious effort but would not come into any play for Maya there. Jiren now holding side.
Last
10
player
HP.
standing. One
Does-
enemy remaining.
With one person, Roach only has to take care of tap with 42 HP. Will he? Does he know?
Thrifty.
With a few seconds left. It's always okay to do that, but it's also an extremely big risk to hold that position for a while. You will always, in a situation like that, you're going to miscount and make a blunder. But a good effort from Revenants to hold full focus, fast loose back. The attackers had everything. Winning a save round is something to be proud of, and that's exactly what they did. Jiren and ISK coming into big plays there, taking out the Revenants team and giving them the opportunity to move forward. The score standing right now at 3-6. They are surely aware of DevOps Engineer, but DevOps Engineer doesn't care. Roach goes down. He still stays. The drone comes in, moves in, will get taken out this time by Maya. It's a trade-in for Roach. Punya staying in now. It's an A-side push. Jiren takes himself in. Commands the position, putting Revenants all over the place. It's a
Spike
2v3.
planted.
Anything can happen. It's death.
One enemy
Coming in from the
remaining.
flank. Taking out Shuas. Will peek.
One
Jiren
enemy
runs away.
remaining.
With one remaining. It's Zing against Daffy Duck. The nade. The bomb goes in. Gives the info necessary. But what a shot! Flanking at its best, and it really is the name of this map.
Clutch.
You flank, you execute it perfectly, and the round is more or less yours. The attackers need to have a situation, a trip set up behind for them to hold flank, especially since they have a Cypher, and I think the Cypher was down by the time Zing came through. But that was amazing execution from the defenders in order to steal that round. Literally, it was all in, served on a silver platter by Jiren for the attackers, only for them to get flabbergasted from Zing all the way in the back. And I think this is why he wanted to clear his name. He is the Zing, not just any Zing, who plays for the Revenants and would love to bring Revenants home. 4-6. And now Death is taken. He's blinded. He's taken away from side. They will have to be inside. Oh, what a beautiful push into garage. Roach using his ult, taking care of taps. And now we know how much this is going to make an impact in this round. With 5 of all of the teammates alive. It's a 5v3. Both Punya and Death holding from garage, trying to push up into side. Will be spraying Roach and Maya both getting chipped off there. What a shot! The ult coming into play, pushing them back. And now it's a 3v3. No, it's a 3v2.
They're super dead.
Roach holding side
Last
for the
player standing.
attackers. But now it's just Maya. We've seen Cyphers play
One enemy
amazingly
remaining.
before. This is bad angle holding from Punya. What was she doing?
I'll see you in a minute.
Now, will this actually work? Is this going to work? The spray! It's a clutch from Maya!
Last
What
round
am
in the
I
half.
seeing? For a moment I thought it worked.
That goes there.
For a moment I actually thought the defenders had it in the bag, but Maya pulling out the classic. You know what Call of Duty always says, our good old Commander Shepard. It's always better to pull it's always faster to pull out the classic or the pistol before without reloading, and that's exactly what Maya took into consideration. Who would have thought that a tip from Shepard would come in handy in a Valorant tournament? And look at this now, Window peeking out Roach peeking out a window, gets shipped off by Punya. They are heavily pushing up B mid. Gets punished from a Bulldog. A stray bullet taking out Punya there for a second there with 50 HP. Pushing up is
I
the
know
call
exactly.
that he has made, but the Cypher ult will push him back. They know now that C-side is very much free. Daffy Duck ults all the way to A Haven. One defenders. Punya takes 2, but gets traded off by Maya. DevOps Engineer with This seems to be a safe round, by the way, for the defenders. Maya pushing up,
3 out.
has absolute confidence pushing up and does not give
Spike
any space. And
Last
do
player
not turn your
standing.
back on a side opening. Zing will punish you. It's Zing
Satchel out.
against Maya and Daffy Duck. We've seen Zing do this for the Revenants before.
One
Double
enemy
peek.
remaining.
Gets one! Oh no, Daffy Duck, you just have to play time. It's Zing. Zing hears the shot coming in from the other side of Jen. With little to no avail. Daffy Duck does not make the mistake that
Switching
Revenants
sides.
made before. Pays attention, waits for it, and then capsulates on the moment. Takes out Zing and wins the round for the defenders. So they do it again, a 1v2 clutch, one from Zing, one from Daffy Duck. Now have a look at these attackers. Get absolutely frazzled when they're pushing forward, and that's what exactly happened. It's 8-4 for the attackers at this point in time. We already know it's a very attacker sided map, and I think that's what is shown here. But to not take it away from the defenders who are doing a really good job at holding side. 4-8 is a formidable approach to moving into the halftime. I think it's a timeout for the I believe DevOps engineer has disconnected, which means that they will have go into a timeout. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is the perfect time for me to go about talking about our sponsors, which we have for this scenario. Noob Alliance, our clothing partner, we have featuring the exclusive politician. Again, promo code Revival. IPLAY, our platform partner, reaching out to help us with our player registrations and match hosting, and giving us all in all a really good approach. IPLAY, our platform partner, and then we have the man, the myth, the legend, Dennis, also the organizer and the full live coverage, going on to host this entire tournament and really putting in a lot of time, which he would love for the community, because as we all know, Valorant is something that the community loves, and he wanted something to revive the spirit that Sri Lanka once had for the love of this game. And that's exactly what he's done, and that's exactly what he's gone on to provide us with. So just to show some support and love, please go on, like, subscribe, and bring in some love so he can keep doing this moving forward and bring the community exactly what we would love to keep seeing. Another Revival Cup tournament, very possible. So just show us the love. Alright, I think we're all good to go, I think. Yep, and as of right now, the way the score stands, we have Maya and the two Sentinels holding the fort right at the top there, which they are doing a fantastic job both at holding flank and keeping the side at bay, and also flanking. Maya coming in with the good flanks, and then you have Tap holding side in and keeping it all ordeal for Revenants to be able to move and have the score that they do. 8-4, ladies and gentlemen, as we move into the second half of Haven. Zing playing very similar to the way full focus, fast loose plus play. Now with the smoke, the blind coming in will get chipped on. Zing pushing in ambitiously. Daffy Duck there to control it all. Holding backside.
One enemy remaining.
The right click not coming into play for
down,
Revenants.
C.
Revenants in a whole heap of trouble here with the side back near logs. Happens trying to do everything to get one shot into the head. ISK with 1 HP. Can he do something?
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
ISK moving up.
Recalling my bot.
Playing it. He has no option but to play it as slow as he possibly can. Already both position up in ceiling. They're going up to spawn now. Little does Tap know that he's waiting in windows, which they might actually push towards if he waits long enough. But it's just a matter of waiting
30
to game with
seconds
1
left.
HP. Can he actually make a difference? Both holding spawn very tediously and tap waiting for some sort of movement coming in from the two. They're not taking any chances. The defenders are holding.
10 seconds left.
They're here, tap. They're going to peek tap now. The turret
Spike
right
planted.
there. Just takes one bullet. And it does indeed and Daffy Duck does the dealing and does the finishing blow, giving F L 3 Fs and no Ls. Another round into this first map. Now the ever so commanding lead just keeps to be increasing. The attackers had the right motive but the wrong execution, pushing into sight and getting frazzled and embezzled. They didn't have a plan going forward. The smoke coming in from Daffy Duck and the right click not really getting the shots in gives the defenders a very good position to hold. And indeed, again, let's take them holding side from behind, not pushing up, not giving that space for tap to take one down already. Jiren, impressive stuff from Jiren there. Pushing them back, allowing Roach and Jiren now pushing up. They're playing this game like it's a nothing. Jiren with already 2 kills with a Marshall. Using the economy to the advantage. Tap. Waiting. They already know. Pushed up.
One
Roach
enemy remaining.
helping Jiren. Jiren with 3 kills with a Marshall. Zing all the way back in spawn. Doesn't matter. He pushes up. Both trade each other, but it gives the attack and the defenders who suddenly chose to attack. Full focus in absolute command here, pushing up Revenants in every angle they could possibly think of. I think the Revenants have to take a small time for themselves in order to rethink the strategy here, allowing
There.
the defenders to attack you and then take the round from you. Then you pushing any effort is something you don't want to see happening in any tournament. Already Zing is waiting indoors. Any spray from
Here.
very confident with that Marshall. Chips away. Then how he does those flicks, I will never know. Now there's so much that just dashes away into Suez. Zing leading the charge. Pushing. Up to 8. He has the shoot but doesn't really get rid of it. Now he does. Zing pushing up along. Slowly clearing angles, which is something that they have to consider in a map like Heaven. Jiren posted up on box. Now, have a look at this. They are rotating side. They're rotating, taking the spike all the way to C side. Daffy Duck hasn't moved, having his position station. That's what you'd love to see from a defending team. You know that they can fake. Daffy Duck gets chipped off there. Will hold this side. DevOps engineer getting the info necessary that Daffy Duck is in. The drone also goes on. Now look at this. Will peek. Get one. That would be enough. But no, Roach misses. The attackers are in a big advantage now.
Last
The
player
peek coming in from
standing.
ISK.
Spike planted.
It's ISK against Revenant. Revenant just have to hold now. They have to hold as a team. Do not wanna peek. Zing holds the angle in. Garage hold it from behind box.
Grenade.
And takes away ISK from Windows, giving Revenants their first attacker-sided win. It all fell apart the moment Roach missed his follow-up through after the trade off of Daffy Duck, and that is when the Revenants got the confidence to push inside and then hold it as much as they could. It only went down from the defenders there. Daffy Duck held position pretty well, but the recon coming in from DevOps Engineer gave them the authority to push up seaside like it was their own backyard, hence giving them the round for the first time. Now that's what you like to see, and that's what you want to see the Revenants do in order to bring this game back to a very balanced set. Now my position up in Heaven. The trip given in. The very usual Cypher tripwise comes into play. Helps. Zing is not jumps in like Batman, takes
One
care of
enemy
things like
remaining.
no trouble at all. ISK
Spike
holding
down
side is
A.
in command. Taps is the only one allowed to live because she's so far away. Taps now would have to push into side and take care of 4 individuals in order to reclaim any sort of hope for the Revenants in this round. Jiren getting the flank. Taps very aware, but look at this. Valorant timing is not having it. Takes his time
outrun me?
and gets Tap out of the equation, giving them the 11th round. As we moved into the 18th round, it is 11-5, ladies and gentlemen. Namaya holding a very strong lead there with 21 kills. That's just amazing. In comparison, Tap and the rest of the team of Revenants are struggling very hard to hold on to whatever's left of hope in order to redeem themselves. It's still not over, ladies and gentlemen. It's still 11-5. If they do attack the way they attacked the last round, they really do have a lot of... They really do have a good sense of coming back, but it doesn't seem likely with the way thing has been played out. Now, UT has been thrown around in Courtyard. Roach would love to have some sort of push with Jiren. Maybe the two duos doing what they did early on the first round of the second round of the first half, but no, they hold back. Jiren not holding back this time, getting the spray in from to help Jiren pushing. Tap waiting for the peak. Jiren gets vulnerable, and now the blade comes in to push Jiren out of his corner. They're waiting for that peak. Jiren waits. The patience plays out. The spike is in. The hands taps. Tries to get Jiren. Punya is able to get Jiren. Now it's Punya against the attackers. Dappy Duck whips. Attack at the same time. Just spraying to side. And you just get him. That's exactly what the goal is. They're playing for fun at this point. They look like they don't have any coordination whatsoever. As a team, they just know whatever they throw works. The defenders have full command of the map, of map 1. We're moving into the match point already. Revenants have lost their sense of self and are at the brink of losing their mentality pushing forward. They don't seem like they know what they're doing. Taps is the only one holding fort, whereas everybody else seems to be going all over the place. 5-12, ladies and gentlemen, now. Making a lot of noise up in B. Going in B without any info from going in now into B lane. Sorry, C lane. Checking backside too. Maya waiting on the other end from A link. The whole team posted up. Doesn't know Roach is coming in from the back.
Spike
Roach
down
will wait.
mid.
Are we going to see a masterclass of a trigger control? Yes, we are. 2. One doesn't realize.
remaining.
We'll get the third kill too.
One enemy
Flag,
remaining.
ladies and gentlemen, is what you have to look
Defenders
at.
win.
And that's exactly what the defenders, full focus, fast loose, utilized against the Revenants. With that, Heaven is done, and ladies and gentlemen, we have the first map winner. Full focus fastest will go with a high morale into the second map, giving a little to think about for the Revenants. I think they had a good sense of team control, but they didn't coordinate as much as you think they would, as much as you'd hope they would. A lot will have to be said in this 5-minute break, but don't be disheartened if you are a Revenants fan. We've seen them pull miracles before. We've seen Valorant give us miracles before. If they keep control of their team chemistry in a map like Bind, which is very familiar to everyone, then Full Focus Fast Lose has a lot to worry about. But congratulations, Full Focus Fast Lose. That was a commanding win in Heaven. You would only love to see this happen again if you are a Full Focus Fast Lose winner. I'm not going to keep saying this again and again. I really have to come up with a nickname for this team. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we will be beginning the next map in a span of 5 minutes, and I hope you guys will be there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Everyone, we're live once again at the Revival Cup 2025 qualifier 2. If you're just tuning in, you missed a statement. Full focus, fast lose, and whatever that name is, came out swinging on Haven, taking their first map with a commanding 13-5 victory over the Revenants. From round 1, you could tell FFL had a plan. Fast, confident, and clean. Every time the Revenants tried to get comfortable, Duran's crew just ripped control right back. The utility synergy was on point, executes were sharp, and the pacing, it was just textbook aggression done right. But one of the most fascinating aspects of that map was the Sentinel matchup. Two very different approaches, but both incredibly impactful. For FFL, Maya was absolutely phenomenal playing Cypher. She controlled flanks like a fortress, calm under pressure, never overcommitting, and always catching those late rotations that could have flipped rounds. There were a couple of rounds where the tripwires and cams single-handedly gave the team the early info to rotate and shut things down. On the flip side, taps for the Revenants running KJ really gave us a masterclass in patience and positioning. Reading the tempo, holding the line with utility, perfectly placed. Even in rounds they lost, you could see the discipline. Perfect setup, smart mollies, and post plans that slowed FFL's advances to a crawl. But both Sentinels, different games, different philosophies, but the same stories. Impact through presence. Still, at the end of the day, it was FFL's pace and precision that won out. They didn't just overwhelm, they adapted. From A to C, they were controlling the map flow, using early pressure to force rotations and then punishing every overpeak. Superkill and Roach were hitting the entry shots like clockwork, and only Maya locked things down. There was no way back in for the Revenants. So, Haven goes to FFL, full focus, fast loose, and we shift gears now to Bind. Bind is a completely different beast, ladies and gentlemen, don't get me wrong. The map demands structure. You've got those tight choke points, limited mid-control, rotation that depend entirely on coordination. One teleport misread, one utility delay, and the entire round flips. And this is where the Revenants have a chance to show their true identity. They are a methodical team. We know that already. They like to show things. They like to slow things down, build up info, and set up for late executes. Bind plays right into that. Expect Revenants to lean into structured defaults, Punya to work those slow clears, Beyond and Death to find impact through lurks and trades. If Revenants can make FFL hesitate just once or twice early on, they can absolutely find a way back into this series. But make no mistake, we already know full focus fast loose aren't going to ease up. Haven wasn't a one-off performance, it was confidence made very visible. They've shown they can play explosive Valorant, but what makes them scary is how they control the explosion, and they can hit fast for sure. But when they slow it down and start faking utility, they force you into guessing, and on Bind, that can be deadly. I think we're moving into Agent Select, so people that we would love to look forward to seeing is Raze. Undeniably, in a map like Bind, you always have to have a Raze. Of course, ideally the best agent to select in this map, alongside Sova, which is supposedly being selected by FFL, who is defending. They would love to have that info down for the defenders, but from the defenders' perspective. Arena is also a phenomenal pick in a map like this. The versatility in her utilities is incredibly useful in this scenario. Cypher, again, Maya, we saw how well he played as a Cypher, and I think as everyone watching this spectacle of a match is not gonna doubt how well he'll play in Bind as well. For the controllers, you have Clove and Brimstone coming into play. A very unique pick coming in from Tap, going Chamber this time. We saw how well he performed as KJ. I'm not going to be the one to start doubting him now. So the quick teleports and the easy revolver benefits coming in from using the chamber is going to give Taps a significant head start in the earlier rounds, and that's what Revenants would like to see. A very aggressive pick, agent pick coming in from the attackers, that is Revenants, and you have a very balanced and a very I mean, you won't say balanced. I would still say it's significantly aggressive. But regardless, a more textbook approach to defending when it comes to a bind. Of course, as usual, ladies and gentlemen, we saw how well full focus fast loose was in heaven. It's only a matter of time before we see either Revenants making a comeback and doing wonders and making FFL hesitate. But already the first encounter between the two was in showers and nearly getting head blown out from taps.
There.
Shot.
Daffy Duck just waiting. Flawlessly executes it. Dead takes a trade off by taking out Roach. ISK waiting in near triples. It's a 3v3. The team really advances the flank push from Jiren. And
One
Daffy
enemy
Duck.
remaining.
It's
Last
a
player
1v1.
standing.
Clove. DevOps engineer. Maya falls off heaven. And gets tapped on the head only to give Revenants their first commanding attack round. Everything happened there. You had the flank, you had a push in, you had side also being planted, you had side almost being planted, taken out. Everything and nothing happened for the defenders. A good approach. They were evenly matched, and only for Revenants to have that one approach with DevOps engineers with phenomenal, not peculiar, I apologize. Phenomenal name, taking out Maya, falling down from heaven. And just like that, we're off to a very, very strong start. Both teams do not seem to be. You'd assume. Revenants having a very. Oh my word! The Spectre aim coming in from all the way there to take out in heaven. They know Daffy Duck's in their position now. Revenants a very different Revenants we've seen before. Jiren holding them back with the judge. With the Baki, I apologize. Right. What can ISK do here? Zing with 3 kills! Zing will be taken out by Jiren, but doesn't matter. Maya's the only one left. Wish the shot too. And DevOps engineer to finish things off, giving Revenants a 2-round lead. Ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing a very different Revenants to what we saw in heaven. They know how to perform in this map. They know where to go. They know what to do. And that's exactly the confidence that you'd see in a team that is in full control. Predictable plays coming in from FF is making them, is part of the reason why they seem to be losing plays. That's what I've posted up in lamps. You have Jiren trying to peek and then getting taken out. Zing playing amazing with the Spectre. We've seen how he plays in heaven. Now look, Jiren already pushed up in through. Waiting. Scar waiting carefully in carpets. Gets one. Looks at Doe. Maya waiting in hookah. That is going to peek. They are going to peek fully. Push up a shot. Push on the side. But doesn't get anyone. Only to get traded out. He get completely taken out by death. Careless entry from Maya costs them the map. Sorry, I apologize. Costs them the site. Daffy Duck will have to take the approach from through laps and will have to push through elbow. That's what the plan is here, but will be stopped instantly by Roach. Tap waiting patiently for the peak. Lost focus for 1 second and punished. Death against FF. Have a look at that. Tap losing 1 moment of focus cost them the round because it only takes 1 second for Jiren to lock in, and that's exactly what happened. And the slow push from Daffy Duck through elbow to side gave them the ability to split and conquer, divide and conquer as they say, and that's what FF did. Breaking this very confident approach that Revenant has had so far in this game.
Thanks.
That's not something they need to worry about at the moment, but it's a statement that's been said, and they have to take it into consideration because FF certainly won't back down from a position like this, and they would want to switch things up and keep things flowing. Certainly, with what's been said and done, we know for a fact we are in for a lot. Jiren is spotted double now. He's just sprayed through smoke and would go back up into showers with a judge as any race player usually would. Tap, knowing that there is a trip here. Has nothing to worry about. Takes the trip out very comfortably. Will move out of hookah.
I have the spike.
Are they going to go from blue all the way to fountain? See if there's someone in long. That's what Punya is trying to see. Checks fountain. Doesn't see anyone. Would ideally take long. And Zing all the way here in labs. He's trying to push up. Misses the ult by a millisecond, but gets
Build my copy.
Jiren in the end.
Dropping smokes.
An unnecessary ult costs a very unnecessary. Maya just trying to swing in. Unfortunate for Maya, gets taken out by Tap. Tap is on another level of holding in now. ISK pushing it from
Spike
labs.
down.
Will take that straight down.
One enemy
3v2.
remaining.
DevOps engineer holding for Daffy Duck's life was on the line only for DevOps engineer to stack it out. Careless entry, careless mistake from Zing. On the other hand, the ult was absolutely unnecessary.
That's a good spot.
Altered into blue and I altered into labs or doubles and this gets taken out by Jiren, who was Zing, who was waiting on the other end. Patience. They're taking their time, and that's how you should play as an attacker in bind. You don't want to push in.
Go.
Because we've seen how well they are at the retaking sites in heaven, and now they're adapting. They're being versatile. They're taking the game slowly but surely away from FF. Maya posted up in hookah, will be pushed back into site. Treyo, necessary to death to take care of Maya. Maya is now in shambles. This map has Maya in shambles and not giving any control. That is all over. FF at the moment having no idea on how to retake site or even control site for that matter. The information given to Revenants is giving them all they need to actually get into site and hold it. They're holding all the way in elbow. Fountain will be taken care of by Zing. Zing very dominant in this map. Punya
Last
misses all
player
the shots
standing.
and that will do what's necessary.
You were big.
And a very easy take from death. With a commanding 3 kills this game, this round will put her in 6 kills, where FF is now only with 1 round to their name. The very commanding FF is losing resoundingly against Revenants who are very confident about the way they're attacking, and also putting FF in shambles in a defender-sided map like Bind. Mistakes from
Take
Jiren.
everything.
Overwhelming, over peaking from Maya. All in all, is giving them the opportunity for Revenants to trample, walk, and move forward in this game with a commanding way. Now look, patience has been the key of the game for the Revenants, and they're exercising their right to be patient. Yet again, Punya looking at the pick in showers will chip off Maya. Maya this time not being as aggressive as he was in the first 2 rounds. He'll take the orb and then push back Zing. Not decisive about the map that they would be going for. They would ideally love to take 1 pick and then push into side. That's what they've been doing so far. Will FF give them the opportunity to do as such? Zing would push back through market. Punya trying to see if there's anyone in heaven. Nope, not given the opportunity to. Roach is there. And now FF has everything under control at the moment. As long as they don't overpeak it, they have it in the bag.
Still inside.
That has other
30
notions.
seconds left.
But no, here comes Jiren's. Zing's ult takes out Jiren, and now it's a 3v5. It's a 3v4. Rim's ult coming in. Stops everything there. Stand for Zing will take 1 along with Devil's
One enemy
Engineer.
remaining.
Careless entry will cost you the round. It's ISK against Revenants. Everything was done right up until that instant. Both whips a shot. That's not what you'd like to see as an FF fan. You'll be kicking
aim,
yourself for that
Zenfire.
round was in
Let's
your
not
hands,
complicate it.
only to be given in a silver platter to Revenants. Careless entry from
A gift.
the two. I think it was Roach and Maya entering into side, only to be taken out instantly by Zing and DevOps engineer, who were waiting in a very good angle just to hold labs. 5-1. We're seeing the opposite happen in mine. I think the confident approach, the attack, the way they hold side, and the unnecessary peaks and push from Zing already taking out ISK long very happily, but gets traded off. And again, Jiren gone from Zing. Zing is being very dominant over here. They're already having side.
There.
Roach, the peak from Roach.
Last player
The
standing.
attackers not giving any moment for the defenders to breathe. Maya being a judge. We've seen Maya being a really good sentinel back in heaven, but unfortunately for him, not able to do much, not even able to get their aim straight. And FF is in shambles after the first dominant performance we saw in heaven. Mine seems to be a map they cannot predict. Revenants, on the other hand, are revving themselves through this map. 6-1,
Oh, this goes here.
proving
No
to
more
be
charges
much more than what they seem to be in the beginning of this
That goes there.
series.
No more
Maya will
charges
heavily now
left.
lock down side. They
Alright.
seem to be changing their attributes. They're doing one thing right, not overly peaking, and I think that has helped them in the long run. Whereas, do have a look at this, everybody cooped up in I'll come in. Will now push Maya backside, allowing the ability for the attackers to enter side to double. Spray! You spray, and Zing will take Roach out after Roach takes death. It's still a trade-off. Jiren will hold the flank, takes the TP out. Satchel out, that's what you wanna do. Do not contest it. Not right now, but doesn't matter. DevOps engineer does not hold angle in long. Will get taken out by Jiren. Jiren, it's 3v4. Everybody coming in from long. Forcing himself up on hookah. Waiting for any info. ISK holding side. The attackers are frazzled. They don't know what to do. They're pushing up through. They push up through blue only to be taken out. Daffy Duck will hold hookah by himself. But the
Headshot.
utility from Teo just needed. Daffy Duck not getting faced by it. Daffy with the pip. Shepard's advice yet again, ladies and gentlemen, giving you a prime example of switch to a classic. It's faster than reload, giving FF the very needed round win in order to keep their mentality in this game. They caused Revenants to be all over the place in that round. Have a look at the way they were taking picks left, right and center from blue, from hookah, from long, and not allowing the attackers to keep themselves at bay.
You want to
Even though
play? Let's play.
no, they're coming in with the ult will be taken,
Spike down A.
suppressed
Here comes the
by the trio. Zing will take his ult in this time. That should be the road should be taken care of. Zing and ISK, but ISK comes on top. Zing. They also
One
will
enemy
trade
remaining.
ISK.
Last
It's one
player
enemy
standing.
against another. It's Jiren against Punya. I apologize against DevOps engineer. Taking the vulnerability orb just to be decimated by a very careful Jiren, and that's FF making a statement of coming back. It's 3-6. This confidence that Revenants seem to be having is depleting when you see the FFFL making focusing and locking in and pushing up and not allowing them to make any progress into sight. That's how you usually play in Bayern. You don't allow the attackers enter as much as you don't allow them to attack as much as they want unless you know you can retake so well, but they can't. That's their weakness, retaking. It has proven time and time again. Now look at this ISK peeking, very taking the angle around showers. We'll hold, we'll wait for a double. Doesn't matter, Daffy Duck is there to take that. Waiting for the ult to be played in. Already given sight. I've said their weakness is retaking. Tap trying to go through. Jiren pushing the flank. The ult coming in will not face anyone as they have not even started to plant the default. Holding up! Jiren will be taken out by Tap, which means the attackers are very heavily favored to win this round now. Going if they do not make any mistake! Jiren, Zing will peek, take go shot through. The exit of lamps. Daffy Duck waiting for a peek. ISK will put peek on that to get information. The TP into Maya will position himself inside. Whiffs the shot. Wait, no, he does the whiff but gets traded out by Death.
30 seconds left.
A 2v3.
One enemy remaining.
Tap going from the flank from showers. ISK. The only remaining. Knows that Tap is waiting here now. It's improving formation. Headshot still.
10 seconds left.
All he has to do is
planted.
Doesn't matter. It really does not matter. Revenants know how to play around with FF, and
Please
Tap
do not
is doing
mistake my
just that.
smile.
Have a
I
look at
take
that
this
flank.
all
It was
very
so slow. It took his own time in order to dismantle and destroy FF's defending. It worked well in the sense that it started off looking to be another FF round when DevOps Engineer fell in the hands of Daffy Duck, but ever since then, Tap taking out Jiren and then moving up,
Focus
slowly
now.
taking out
Eyes off me.
everybody else in the defenders, only to even be alive towards the end. Oh, I think there's been a slight disconnect on the end of that. No, it is my end. I apologize. Jiren already one man down. The attackers are proving to be Maya coming in with a trade. Maya takes
Spike
two.
down B.
Spike in the hands of the defenders. Oh no! This is the mistake. Revenants would not be waiting. It takes. Daffy Duck gets traded out there now. Tap just doing everything for the Revenants. Attackers make the mistake. The defenders make the mistake of letting side out of their hands. And Tap waits for an opportunity to take him from the behind. Maya. Let's hear the idea of flanking. What is the plan that... We've seen this. He's been here throughout the start of this run. Slowly pushing up long. DevOps Engineer with Zing.
Teleport's ready.
Cypher
30
strips in
seconds
place up in garden, so they'll have to deal with that if they're going to go forward. Tap pushing up. Tap waited. But we'll wait.
Where is everyone hiding?
Gets the ult in. Provides useful information. Maya finally back in the game.
Last player
Tries to
standing.
It's a 1v2. The attacker do.
seconds left.
Can Zing do what we have seen Zing do before?
One enemy
Crash
remaining.
just like in heaven. It's Maya who'll run to Tap's body, get Tap's gun, have to get away from the nade in order to not get chipped off here. Any damage is crucial for Zing. He's already clutched once, but Maya denies it this time with a 4-round win. 4. FFFL. Maya finally coming back into the senses we've seen from Heaven. Giving him.
Alright.
Last round before the switch.
I knew I was pronouncing it wrong when I was saying Maya all this time. It's Maya apparently. I
Alright.
apologize for pronouncing it wrong. Yeah, take a shot at me as much as you can. Look, I don't know what these names are at this point.
This goes here.
Well, hello there, Maya. Welcome back. It was a fantastic round from Maya on that side, getting
this is a nice
4
one.
kills into
Will reveal their
Get-
secrets.
full focus, fast loose back in the game from a 3-7 lead to a 4 now. They have a fighting chance now. Information already given up in blue. Jiren will have to back off. Jiren doesn't seem to be phased from the last round being taken out by Inhukas. Positioned himself this time only to wanted to get any sort of kill. Gets the info necessary from Maya and will push Revenants to now ideally rotate to carefully because it's pushing a bit. Jiren now takes the peek. Gets the long-awaited redemption, taking out taps, which is crucial for full focus here. They needed a kill in order to bring themselves to a position of stability. And taps is just the person they would love to have taken out. Daffy Duck is going to swing here. This doesn't matter, it doesn't swing. Waits for any angle, any sort of contact in order to start spraying. Everybody playing so cautious here, which is unlikely to be seen in a game like this, and especially in a map like Bind. But giving in for that, Daffy Duck is on the other side of Lambs.
30 seconds left.
1, 2, 3. They're pushing up inside now. Maya just alone inside. Jiren will take the kill of Zing. Maya falls in the hands of Punya. It's ISK holding elbow.
Spike planted. One
FF
enemy
has it in
remaining.
their hands. Roach would like to deny it from Revenants, and they just did.
Sorry to spoil the party.
Defenders win a very beautiful.
Switching
All credit
sides.
goes to Jiren there with the use of Maya's info. Jiren pushing up, taking one peek, and then all just a matter of waiting, not allowing the attackers to enter sight. With that, we have reached halftime with 5-7. Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving forward into the second half with 5-7. Now have a look at that. It's a defender-sided map, but the defenders have not utilized it as much as you'd hope them to. But then again, this map is so evenly matched, you just cannot bring these two away from each other. You'd think that FF would have a resounding success when the way they played Heaven, but look, Revenants is not giving in. You have Zing coming out on top, performing like you've never seen Zing perform. We saw remnants of it in the first map, but he's doing something else here. Jiren gets a nade right to his face. Would have to now back off with 50 HP. Jiren has a lot of thinking to do, pushing up into B side. A lot of sun made up in it. B long. Maya waiting for the opportunity to push up as much as he can. One peek, and Tap will get punished.
I have
Chip
retrieved the
damage
spike.
into Taps. Jiren will push up with 50 HP. That takes beautiful
Spike down A.
round around from triple, but only gets taken out by Roach. It's so far, it's only been trade 1-for-1. Tap will miss all his shots.
Spike planted.
Now it's just a matter of waiting here for the attackers. One by one, Jiren seems to be pushing up. Doesn't matter if he's low on HP. Punya will
Last
take out
player
Jiren on the other
standing.
side. Sorry, Jiren will be taking a Punya. And Roach, Zing, leaving DevOps Engineer to deal with 4 individuals on the roster of FF. DevOps Engineer will peek. Heaven only to take out Jiren. Not giving the glory that he would have otherwise wanted. Roach, that one peek. Headshot. Have a look at that for a flick. Ten out of 10 attack strategy from the attackers. That's what you'd see in a map like Bind, giving them confusing the defenders into thinking you're going B, having baiting utils, taking out rotations, and then pushing on to another side slowly but surely. Jiren's confidence is again a key of what was happening in that match. 12, 11, 7 doesn't really matter because his confidence is showing otherwise.
Bomb buddy out.
Got taken out very low in the early on in the map as well. You see the Maya's info giving information to Jiren to push in. Oh, very good satchel in. Almost taken out by Punya. Zing will be gone from Maya too. Brimstone Molly not allowing the entry into elbow, causing a lot of damage to Jiren, but will that matter? Spraying his Bucky around like it is a statement to be made. And one down, Taps down, but DevOps Engineer stops Jiren yet again.
Last player standing.
It's road, it's death. Into the bush. Shot to ISK, but there's nothing. Hello. Riot Games. What was that? As much as Death was about to die, that just didn't seem right. 7-7, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving to the 15th round. FF have made a resounding comeback compared to the way they were at the beginning. Revenants also losing themselves from what they had a lead so commanding. They could have kept going. They could have made this their map. But it seems like the attackers in this scenario have a resounding success, and that's what's happening here. Both attackers did it perfectly well. It's a matter of which team can defend the best that's going to win right now. Holding showers for dear life as 3 individuals trying to enter showers here. Now Jiren from hookah gets Death down for a few HP, but Maya holding and accompanying Jiren here, which seems to be the play so far from FF. Now slowly, very carefully, will clear that angle. Punya did not make a noise, which is Tap holding triple. Now Brimstone money coming to site. Tap will give info that site might potentially be taken in A here. Position being held. Odin from Punya.
Launching missile.
Nothing has been done so far yet. Punya pushing up.
Drone is down.
We'll give info that Maya is
30
in
seconds
there.
left.
The A side pushes in. Inbound. Doesn't matter. 1 down. Punya coming in with the Odin spray.
1 enemy remaining.
And 2. What a beautiful spray that is.
Launching missile.
3 kills remaining. Spikes down. And Davidoc has little to nothing to do with 13 seconds left.
10 seconds left.
He'll take one down. But Punya and an Odin is an undismissible combo. Took 4 kills with an Odin. I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, you do whatever it takes to win. It is a tournament after all, and you can't be salty about that. He positioned himself in the right way. Didn't get phased when the satchel came in and disrupted. At the end of the day, it still played out very well. The beautiful ball spray in hookah to take out. I think to take out, was it ISK? Yes, I think it was ISK. To take out ISK and then to take Jiren, who came in so confidently. That's how you play with an Odin. People might have opinions about you, but now taking the time. Already won. 2 kills coming in from Punya, taking the game away. Death supporting it from the other end. I don't think FF is gonna like it, but at the end of the day, it is still a gun in the inventory. Daffy Duck's plan to go through elbow is dismissed. Revenants so desperately want their game back, and they will take 2 rounds so very fast. And Punya has a lot to be has a lot to be thanked for with those Odin sprays coming into clutch. Like I said, it is a gun in the inventory, and you can't do anything about it.
Here.
As much as you'd like to, as much as you'd hate it, playing for the strat, taking the kills is what Revenants needed, and they are doing that without any remorse. Now Tap will position his utilities in every angle possible in order to take any peek and then just TP away. And that's how you play as a chamber. That's what I said. It's a very peculiar place to play chamber in, but hey, it works and it works. That's what they'd love to see. Recon dart molly into lamps, and now push in so quickly, takes out the Reina blind. Jiren will take up Punya. Will come with the ult. Does not get Tap survives with 25 HP. Oh my word, good god! Shotgun! The ISK coming in, taking on 1!
Last player standing.
It's just that now. Punya's taken out, and just like that, Revenants fall off yet again. And Jiren has a lot to be thanked for in this round. Pushing forward. Will this miss? Almost taken out by ISK there for a sec. Almost taken out by Maya there for a second. Daffy Duck and Maya holding towers. They know, holding Heaven. They know that she's there. A slow walk all the way down into pipes. will wait. Maya will wait. Gets the info, but not the kill. Time flies. They say
Thrifty.
Death has little to nothing that he can do. As Daffy Duck waits and just takes a thrifty round for the attackers is something that has to be for the defenders. I apologize, for the attackers as they go on to stop the streak of Punya's Odin spray, but Punya yet again with the Odin in. I think a little bit of banter going in from the two there. Punya going to go with the Odin yet again, trying to. Well, didn't exactly lock in. I think sold it. The op going in for Tap here. Tap is now hoping to get any sort of free coming in from A side. We've seen it work before. A save round for the defenders with an orb for Tap. Might work, might not work. We just have to wait and see. Tap pushed very behind now.
This is how it ends.
That is coming. Roach is just one step away from win. One tap. Yes, and just like that, Roach was taken out. DevOps engineer on. Taps now with the mob in heaven.
Spike planted.
Could be very. Jiren playing around with death and does in fact get death. Taps
One
with an orb,
less.
gets one. Taps with an orb in heaven. Punya with an Odin pushing up. Jiren goes down. ISK will wait.
Last player standing.
He'll wait till this takes. Showers. Has no idea. Tap has absolutely no idea. Will get spread down, and the orb and the Odin combo did not come to fruition for Revenants in this scenario, as they were picked out one by one and given in shambles. For a moment there, you thought the Punya push from Lambs would take out Jiren and ISK, but ISK coming in, taking out the Odin spray and Daffy Duck's flying from showers, only to keep everything all over the place. This is a nail biter of a map, and like we expected in Bind, it's 9-9, ladies and gentlemen, as we move into a timeout, I believe. A tech timeout, and something seems to be of an issue. What a match we've had so far. Zing on the upper level here, taking everything into his hand. 21 kills, has come to a form that we've not seen so far in heaven. On the other end, Jiren too, after the first devastating half that he had, really pulled up his socks and pushed forward like a duelist. The confidence, not hesitating, no remorse, just push forward, just do the damage, just do the kills, get the numbers in, get the team in, and get that round. It's been pretty even from both sides. ISK giving the info, Maya supporting Jiren. On the other side, you have DevOps Engineer, you have Death, and even Tap doing a fantastic, not getting the kills, but giving the info and making critical plays for Revenants and FF to be in a position and a standstill such as this. It's 9-9. Punya pushing up with the thing. Waiting for the peak. Jiren would not let it slide. 2 kills down for Revenants, and they are looking at themselves in a very disadvantageous position as B side is conquered in no time, and Jiren's pushing up into the defender side spawn. They're going to meet there.
Spike
Death
planted.
knows, Death waits, but does not manage. Jiren takes out Death. Tap has little to nothing that he can do. Maya goes around. Lamps will enter Lamps. Tap waiting for the position. Both of them entering. Tap will get Maya. That's one down. They will switch the Vandal. Tap gets a Vandal. That's going to be dangerous for FF. Very good social awareness. They both knew that Maya was there. They waited for it. They just held their bet, betting everything on this push from their engineer. But I believe Jiren will be taken out as well. They know it's a lost draw. They might as well take them down with you, and that's what Revenants is doing. This is just cockiness from FF, but very good social awareness coming in from Revenants, which is good to see, because this is going to the brink, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't the Heaven map that we first saw. This isn't what we saw. How Revenants was playing. They know what they're doing. They are waiting and they are conquering. Whereas FF, the moment they feel victory in their hands, they seem to be on a buzzkill and just push forward like there is no consequences. And of course, if if Revenants utilizes that, if they are able to take that quality of FF, they will easily get the upper hand, and that is not something that FF would want Revenants to do. So they have to take it easily. The net coming in from Jiren. The Odin spray will chip. Will take a bunch off of Jiren, but Roach takes tap out now. It gives them Roach takes 2. Where is Roach? DevOps Engineer will take 2 as well. It's a 3v3. Coming in. Will whiff. Punya with an Odin. Punya waits.
Missile deployed.
Spike planted.
Comes the Death spike down. Death pushes in with
Ignition.
Punya. Jiren holding up in showers. Spray coming in, but very good awareness enough to stay away from each other. Punya will hold showers. Lamp Death with 67 HP and out going for Death. Taking their time. They are very cautious here. ISK will run away.
Fire in the hole!
Jiren will take the out. Will be. Oh my word, that was all it took.
For hellfire.
And the out coming
Player
in
standing.
order to
One
destroy
enemy remaining.
Punya. ISK takes out Death. Has it been halved? It has been halved. It will take a miracle now, but yes, it did. You know, for a moment there, I thought that the defenders had it. Everything is happening all at once, ladies and gentlemen. We are now looking at a potential FF win after the entire game was in the hands of Revenants. They seem to have lost their cool in the way they're playing at the moment. Death and Punya held their own, but it seems like the Odin kill had just sparked up some sort of controversy in the FF team in order to play like this. Tap holding the usual position of Punya held up in wall will try to do and repeat what was once happening in
Launching missile.
a few rounds earlier. Moving up gardens. ISK this time not making the mistake. Death trades ISK. It's a 4v4. It's a standstill. Jiren with Revenants with the slight upper hand with the fact that Jiren is a little low and Death has a very good angle in order to capture both Roach and Jiren if they do decide to swing. But DevOps Engineer will push up elbow. Roach will go into TP. Daffy Duck on the other end near Fountain will take spike, possibly push up long as Death will await both of them. Jiren, who stalled up in hookah, holding elbow. If DevOps Engineer picks this, seems to be a very good. It's a matter of patience. 11-9. One peak. Death waits. Death conquers. You don't stand on that. When the side is not clear yet. Waits in. Maya will get DevOps Engineer. It's a 3v2. All of a sudden the attackers seem to be down. No, Death will be gone too now. It's 2v2. Tap. And
Spike planted.
Zing. Two very dangerous individuals, Roach and Daffy Duck. No, and they will take space.
Last
Would they?
player
No, they
standing.
don't.
One
Daffy
enemy
Duck with
remaining.
the confidence of everything. Tap against that Daffy Duck. All of this for the match point. It's of course in Daffy Duck's hands.
Teleport's ready.
Inspector. Playing around the smoke. This is not something you usually see a Brim do. In Spike. This might actually work.
This is
In the hand. On the peak! Very cheeky stuff from Daffy Duck. Goes on to work for FF, giving them the match point.
Match point.
If you are not doing well, keep trying. You must keep up appearances.
Tap, definitely tapping right now because that's not something he'd expect any Brimstone to do. In fact, in a scenario such as that,
That works.
very good retaliation and retake coming in from the Revenants. Only to no avail. Zing getting taken out by Daffy Duck, holding a judge yet again, this time in lamps. I'm not one to question, this usually works for the Raze players in. Now he knows very well this is a very dangerous combo. The nade takes away a lot off of nade, but with the rechargeable shield it should be There's a very bad scenario. 4. The defenders all. It's a 3v3 right now. The attack is giving the position for the... Oh no. Friendly fire cost DevOps engineer the life that they could potentially have as it could have changed around.
Weapon here.
Punya, it's death. It's Daffy Duck. In a saving round, will take the head off of Maya, but Maya wins that. Tap tap whips. Not what you'd like to see. Death will take position in hookah.
Spike down.
Sorry,
B.
take position left.
30
Takes out
seconds
hookah.
left. Last player
It's
standing.
death. Now for the title. For
Spike
12-9
planted.
to defend and to redeem themselves. Tapped up will have to take care of Daffy Duck and ISK, who will very tediously, carefully position themselves all the way near long. Taking a lot is at stake. The drone coming out, giving the info that FF would love. How and where did this all go wrong? How and where did they think this would have been a loss with 78 HP? They both peak at the same time,
Attackers win.
giving FFFL the win that they did not see coming. Revenants, after a beautiful first half of attacking, fell apart and lost themselves in the mist. What a beautiful game. Jiren, Zing, hold yourself up high because you guys played fantastic. Held, defended, attacked on a whole other level. This map went all the way to a nail-biter finish, unlike Heaven did. Like I said, we were in for a treat. Full focus, fast lose, had a weirdly admonishing first half where Revenants was able to cruise themselves up to a very commanding lead. Revenants lost themselves afterwards. Moving forward, they were doing very well in the first few rounds, only for the attackers. Full focus, fast lose to push themselves, make themselves a mark in bind. They were full in control. Even with Punya's Odin sprays, they couldn't really make any sort of difference, giving them more or less taking every sort of despair from Revenants and making them falter into their own redemption. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we know the first two teams moving forward into the semi-finals will be Team AFK and Full Focus Fast Lose. Have a look at this exciting game today. To remind you, I'm not saying games because the first one was a walkover. GCM Team FK moving forward into the semi-finals along with Full Focus Fast Lose, and then on the other side now we are one step closer into the semi-finals of the qualifier 2 as well. Ladies and gentlemen, stay focused, stay tuned, because we are moving into a few exciting games, as I've been told. Accelerate, Team Z, Zyphos Esports Academy, Not Proximity. All of these teams will battle out for yet another position for the qualifier 2, for the position of qualifier 2, to who will battle against X3 that we saw in that fabulous final. I think, ladies and gentlemen, I wasn't prepared for that. I apologize. I was just told that about 5 seconds ago that it's going to be caster cam. That was not very nice. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I was launched back and enjoying this game, and congrats to Full Focus First Lose, is it? And Fast Lose, Full Focus Fast Lose. See, I told you it's a very long name and I can't keep up with these names anymore. Revenants, on the other hand, thank you very much, and that was a amazing match and a great series all in all. Until next time, guys, I think that tomorrow's game is Accelerate versus Team Z. Again, something to look forward to, and I hope I'll see you then. Until then, stay safe and bye-bye.